Welcome back to Your Champion Life YouTube channel with Ron Williams. Again, this is Your Champion Life. I had a question from a guy by the name of James Jacobs. James, thank you so much for the question that you asked. And I want to make sure that I didn't make it sound like that you shouldn't build your quads, or I'm an advocate of not building your quadriceps. The reason I said what I said in the video, I want to explain it, is that no matter what, when you squat, you build your quads, no matter what. Whether it's a good squat, a bad squat, it doesn't matter. You're going to build your quadriceps, because anytime you bend your knee and anytime you extend from a bended position, you're going to activate that quadricep. And the real key is with every muscle group that you work, you want to make sure you do it in the safest way possible. You want to keep from damaging the joint, because what could happen is, if your form is bad, you can work the muscle, wear the joint out, and now you've got a well-developed muscle and a damaged joint. And because that joint is damaged and filled with pain, you can no longer work the well-developed muscle, and it slowly begins to atrophy. So the objective is not just to get the muscle as big as you can, but to cause the muscle to grow in the safest manner possible. Work the muscle, protect the joint. Squatting is a great exercise. I've actually used squats with numerous amounts of people to help rehab what they were going through with their knees. But it has to be done correctly. And the objective is to make sure that you don't have an angle on that knee where all of the pressure is targeted towards the knee itself. That's what I was trying to explain. So maybe I didn't do that very well, but let's just go through it real quick and let me explain. Now, with the leg extensions, great exercise if it's done correctly. A lot of people, what they do is they put as much weight as they possibly can to move that lever, to move and go through that range of motion, when that is not the most important thing. The most important thing is engage the muscle first. The initial movement, for most people, when they extend the joint, that initial movement is on the joint itself. You'll see them get in the machine, and as they're pushing out, you'll notice this part of their body goes forward, like this. What I'm doing is I'm hinging on that joint, that very first movement on the joint, going all the way through. I'm not just swinging the weight up. But what I want to do is I want to sit back, pull from my hip flexors, forcing my knees toward the ceiling. Now my hip flexors are engaged, my quadricep is engaged, and now instead of flipping the weight up, I'm squeezing. I'm forcing the muscle to do the work, taking the pressure off of the joint. This is not one of the best exercises to build your quads, but it is a good exercise. It is a great exercise if it's done correctly. But if you put weight on there and just want to get the weight up, you're damaging the knee joint. In order to do a squat correctly, you have to have flexible hamstrings. A lot of men are so inflexible that they cannot get in the proper position. Sometimes their hamstrings are not quite as flexible as they could be, and because of that, as I said, you can't get in the proper position. So as they go down, because the hamstrings are tight, it forces the knees forward. When this happens, I've got an angle on that knee joint. All the pressure is here. Squats are a great exercise. Love squats. But the key is this. As I'm squatting, I want to sit my glutes back, not my knees go forward, because all the pressure goes to the knee. Now when my glutes go back, I'm still bending the knee, the quads are still engaged, all the way down, I don't need to go any further than that. Now, what happens is my hamstrings are engaged, supporting the knee. My quads are engaged, supporting the knee. When I go forward, takes pressure off the hamstring. When I go back, pressure is on the hamstring, supporting that knee joint. That's what I want. I want the support coming from the back and the front, so all the pressure is not on that knee joint. If I continue to do the exercise with pressure on that knee joint, it's just a matter of time where I'm going to wear that knee joint out and I'm going to start experiencing a tremendous amount of pain. With every squat, it's important to concentrate on your form. One bad squat could ruin your career. One bad squat could destroy your back, could destroy your knees. You want to make sure you have complete control over that squatting movement. Leg presses, the same way. You want to make sure that the feet are higher, because the more weight you have, the more damage to that knee you can cause. Now the muscle will grow. The muscle will respond. It may take a little more time than you're willing to wait, but the weight is better to protect the joint itself. Get the feet high and wide if you want to build those quads. But don't just build the quads. The key is to have balance. You want to build the hamstring as well as the quad. So when you're doing that leg press, you want to rotate those hips back and force those glutes to do the work. Drive from the glutes and drive that heel into that pad and force those hamstrings to work with the quad. No matter what, when you bend your leg and you extend it, that quad is working, no matter what. From this point to this point, you can't do it with your hamstring and glute by itself. So the objective is force them to work as the quad is extending. So I hope that helps, and I hope it clarifies what I was saying. I'm not saying do not squat. I'm not saying don't do leg presses. I love them. I love leg presses. I don't squat as much as I used to, but I do lots of leg press because I don't have a big reason to do heavy squats. But I do love to do leg presses. I love to do lunges. And again, with lunges, I'm very, very careful on every rep. You're going to see here soon, we're going to do a lunge challenge where we're going to do 400 reps of lunges. How many lunges does it take to go around an Olympic-sized track? How many lunges? 400. You know how I know? Because that's what I do. So we're going to do a 400 rep challenge. I haven't done it this year, so I'm out of shape for doing that, but we're going to do it this year. God bless you. I hope this helps. Until next time, talk to you soon.